These are all telling different things, aren't they?
You can have the world's best product, but if it isn't packaged correctly, no one's going to pick it up. That equates to no sales. You know, the packaging is like, it's a bit that it catches their eye. You know, these are big bars. You couldn't eat all this in one go. Maybe you should have a bar which is, you know, break it up, eat it, do it, and then have another one at another time. Eat one and keep one. You know, it could be a
Eat one, like it, yeah. Eat one, keep one, yeah. Alex, it's Alex's company that has developed the brand, the Willie's, you know, the Willie's Supreme Cacao, world-class cacao.
Consumer insights are a really important segment of our process. You know, before we start any project like this, you know, we'll get a group of people in, we'll work out why they buy into certain brands, you know, what's the occasion. We've got a wide spread here, everything from, like, your Cadbury's and Galaxy, which are brands that I'm sure everybody's kind of grown up with and are very familiar with. What do you feel about, like, a Cadbury's bar? When would you use that, or when would you buy that in particular?
For breakfast.
Breakfast, that's fantastic.
Yeah, the whole thing.
The whole thing, whole bar.
Yeah,
that is
bar.
what breakfast is, a bar of Cadbury's for you. No, I think the challenge there with the consumer is the fact that lots of them are habitually buying brands they've bought for their entire life. You know, what we've got to do is trying to kind of break that habit and attract the attention in the aisle. If I said to you now, you're going to take one of these bars away, which one would you take?
I like the green and blacks one.
This one here?
Yes. I like the softness of the wrapping, initially, obviously, the writing and the whole layout of it all.
What about yourself on this
I like the shape, I like the colour.
The shape, that's a good one. The shape, we talk about size. Again, they downsize this bar slightly.
That package there stands out to me, because it's got the beans and it's got fair trade and it's organic.
Why did you pick that pack?
Pick this one because it's simple, it's got award-winning on the front, it's got trees in it that makes me think that it's from a lovely
Where it's come from,
place.
so you're talking origin, you're talking,
Yeah.
you know, the superiority, because, you know, it's got kind of the awards and the medals on there, so it's backing up the, you know, the quality of the products itself.
We're all talking about brands, and that's fair trade, and that's whatever, but they're all just the outside label. Surely what's important is what's inside.
So what's the one piece of information you want to communicate about your chocolate?
Well, flavour. I mean, I think flavour. If you had to say, what's about your chocolate, I'd say flavour. People are more conscious in this country, certainly, about what is in their food, and I think that's a change of mode. So people now are genuinely looking at things and saying, well, is that the real McCoy? What is that? Has that got flavour?
10 seconds now to grab a pack.
What was that mean?
Just grab one that you think...
7, 8, 9, 10.
The Chocoholics have given the designer some useful ideas to take away and work into the packaging. They've been on a long journey, with Willie as their guide. 6 months ago, they were all confirmed sweet milk chocolate eaters, and Willie has gradually tried to wean them off the sugar and get them to appreciate the taste of real chocolate.
This group has been an insight into people's eating habits of chocolate. But it also has been an insight that it's potentially possible to change them and open up their flavour palettes to eat dark chocolate, because when I first met them, they really were quite hard-line milk chocolate people. But I think their eyes have been opened to dark chocolate and flavour.
I found it amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Completely changed my views and tastes.
I've made you a little goodbye, Bicky. It's actually really been great, you know, to have met you all.
I mean, before it was just chocolate and it had to be dairy milk, and that was fine, thank you very much. But now it's, yeah, you do notice different flavours.
It is deep in flavour and it is the business. It's the best.
Tasting all the different flavours and really learning about dark chocolate, which was something I was afraid to eat before.
We've been on a voyage.
Thank you.
You know, haven't we? We've done the whole thing together, haven't we, really?
Willie's very passionate about his chocolate, but to make a product that the public are going to buy, he needs to understand what everyday people want to look at and want to buy.
I say thanks for me, guys. I really mean it. Does anybody want any 100%? I've got a little bit of... Yeah.
But Willie hasn't succeeded with everyone, and the hardline sweet lovers are not for turning.
Just because he loves it, not everyone does.
I think I'm just addicted to sugar and not chocolate.
I will never be converted to dark chocolate, ever.
Well, he was never going to persuade everyone. And meanwhile, back at the factory, there's a whole weight of problems still to be solved. He's now sourced all the machinery to make his chocolate bars, but installing and getting it ready to work has become a huge headache.
We're sorting out the machine. This is the wrapping machine for the bars, and the cylinder wrapper has come back without any change at all, it seems. I'm speechless. I think it's probably the word. I was led to believe it was quite a simple job. It needed rounding off and adjusting. I mean, as you can see, it hasn't changed, which is depressing because I've lost a month now, and basically, you know, I need to mechanise the factory a bit more to make things a bit more efficient, because obviously I can't employ more people, you know, for my new bars. You know, I need to do some days on that, some days on my 100%. Speechless. Slightly confused about the wrapping. My wrapping machine I sent you a month ago. Nothing's been done on it at all, and I just don't quite understand. If it wasn't your thing, why you didn't say at the time and just send it immediately back so I had a chance to send it to someone else? Okay, bye.
With no sign of a wrapping machine and no finalised packaging, Willie has no choice but to go out to try to sell the new bar. The result of 15 years of effort is about to be decided by the taste buds of one man. The designers have worked with the ideas they took away from the Chocoholics and have come back to Willie with some initial ideas for the packaging.
Following on from the focus group, we've got to pick up flavour notes we need to communicate, rich colours. We want to use some foil block, you know, add in the luxury aspect.
And the other important thing we wanted to bring to the front was this idea of forgotten flavours.
I'm very impressed. I mean, I think the box, I love the idea of 2 bars, fantastic. Good. And one for now and one for them, what a great play.
There's a little bit of insane making with him, but we have to deliver a product that's taken seriously, and Willie he's a very effervescent chap, as we all know, but we need to put a product on shelf that is taken seriously but has this kind of eccentric edge, and we deliver that with the copy that we use. And the tone of voice.
It's the sort of box you would like to keep even after you finish the chocolate.
It's got a precious feel. Yeah,
it's got
exactly.
a precious feel. That's the word, definitely. It's got a nice precious. Indulgent, luxurious. It's a great logo. It really is.
Yeah, well,
I can see it on a T-shirt. I don't know, it might sound...
I can
actually...
on the van,
like on the van, a T-shirt, it's catchy.
Well, that's how you got to assess it, really. You know, you've got to break it down to its simplest form.
Nothing is properly ready, but Willie has to get out to persuade some retailers to stock his bar. So he's organised some prototype packaging and is off to do some selling. As Waitrose is the biggest stockist of his existing 100% bars, they're first on his list. If they don't want to stock his chocolate, chances are that nobody will.
You know, it's just the nature of the game at the moment. You know, things are last minute. It's just the way they arrive. The confectionery buyer's got to be the big guy. He's dealing with 140 different brands of chocolate. So there's little old me coming in there, and I've got to make my mark, otherwise they're not going to stock me, are they? So, yeah, definitely a little bit of apprehension. I mean, it's, you know, it's everything.
After 15 years of hard work and dedication, the success of Willie's entire chocolate project will be decided by one man, confectionery buyer Matthew Jones.
Within Waitrose, we need something slightly different, that's unique, but we also need products that people will want to buy every day. Every decision we make, we've got to be confident that product will work. So it's not only the actual product, it's the people behind the product, it's the taste of the product. I get to see approximately 50 to 75 new lines on a monthly basis.
So basically these boxes we're at print at the moment.
Okay.
So the boxes have got an embossed logo, and obviously that's gold leaf, and it's got delectable written down the side actually.
Look at that.
There is 2 bars. If you want to open and try, there's a logo actually on the chocolate bar.
And these lines you're actually making in your factory?
And they're making in my factory. I've set up a line.
All right.
These have been hand wrapped, so I've actually got a wrapping machine now.
I see you've got the brand on there.
We've got the brand on there. Do you feel the box perhaps is too small?
No, I think it will stand out, the actual, the box shape and box size, and also the colour of it is different from a number of other brands.
A little bit darker, yeah, a little bit more chocolate brown.
Right.
And so you'd get, obviously, the gold leaf would stand out stronger.
Okay.
I'll join you.
Are you? Yeah, it's great. It has a really clean finish.
All right.
It eats extremely well. That's a nice bar of chocolate, Willie. You've done that.
Do you
That's
think?
really nice, yeah.
Good.
And we'll try the Venezuelan.
Try the Venezuelan, yeah.
I suppose really we should have a drink of water, but...
Shall I get... There's actually some water there. Look. Are you a sparkling man or a still?
A still would be great, thank you. Yeah, that's great. You can really taste the difference of the two products. A lot of people get concerned with dark chocolate. It's going to be extremely bitter on the tongue, but it's not that at all.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because I think that this has got flavour, to be honest with you.
You can actually taste the difference between the two products. You know,
Glad you say that.
So, you know, whether yeah, they're really, really nice.
Oh, thank you. I mean, to hear that from you is great, really. Well, that went better. You know, I was a little bit nervy, obviously, before I went in. You never know how these meetings are going to go. But it went well. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, I nearly fell off my chair when he said, you know, that you could taste the flavours and they were so different. I mean, you know, it was a dream come true. I mean, I definitely felt, once he said that, I said, OK, great, he's bought into the product. I said, I've got a few packaging issues. I mean, it's true, I've had a little bit of wrapping issue. I didn't tell him that I had a machine with a pool of oil the size of a lake underneath it when I came into work, and I had to send it back.
Did you tell him about the bean problem?
The bean problem. I mean, I think if I told him I didn't have any beans, he might not have any confidence in me. I have had a lot of bean problems. You know, I've been down. I really am.
The buyer likes the product, but that's useless unless his enthusiasm turns into an order. And even if it does, Willie is still a very long way from being ready to fulfill it. He has been on tenterhooks, waiting to hear from the retailer.
So I've just received an email now, having confirmed the prices to him, and he's saying that there will be an initial order of 500 cases of 12, about 6,000 bars. So yeah, it's good. Yes, I mean, it's, you know, it's not a huge order. You know, we're not going to, you know, we're not going to go out and party on it. It sort of sounds a lot, but when you think about the, you know, the amount of chocolate that I make on a run, which is about 18,000 bars. Actually, what am I talking about? 18,000 boxes, which is 36,000 bars. So a 10-hour run is going to be 36,000 bars. That's how many bars are going to fly out that tunnel, need to be wrapped, boxed, in a 10-hour period. There's a lot of chocolate. If I'm going to regain some of my initial investment, I mean, I need to sell hundreds of thousands of bars of chocolate. I mean, that's a reality.
It's reasonably good news. But Willie can't afford to rely on just one outlet. He needs to reach the biggest possible customer base. And what would be plan B if he can't get through to them?
Orders are minimal. Like, you take your kit off and you run down Oxford Street covered in truffle mix. I mean, you know. What do you think I'm going to do? You know, we're in the worst recession probably in the history of mankind. I'm making premium chocolate, and I'm definitely going to feel the pinch from it. So I think when you say, how much chocolate can you sell, you know, I don't think of profits as in how much product. I think of, can I sell enough chocolate to stay alive? That's really the question at the moment. I don't think it's about margins of how much money you can make. I think it's about staying alive.
After lots more sleepless nights and long, hard days of experimentation, at last, Willie thinks he's got the chocolate recipe just about right. But before he goes into mass production, there's one last important person to sign it off. His old sparring partner, Marco Pierre White.
Marco represents two things to me. One is a great friend, and the other is a great chef. I know that Marco will be brutally honest with me, which is frightening, but, you know, I want the truth of what someone thinks. Well, there it is.
Willie's Delectable Cocoa.
I mean, I'm coming with, I don't know about trepidation, I'm coming feeling the chocolate is good.
Nice packaging. Nice scent.
Well, I've obviously eaten it myself, but, you know, I taste it every day. How good, who knows? You know, so to get someone who's got really a great palate, tell me what they think, you know, and you know, someone who has a good perspective on flavours out there, highly important. I mean, so it means a lot.
It's delicious.
Yeah, not bad.
Delicious.
Good, well, that's very kind.
Delectable. Delightful.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
It's very good.
for me to hear you say that, obviously, is fantastic.
What's extraordinary is the journey I've watched you travel for the last